Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our May 2nd global meditation, the first meditation since our beautiful Mexico gathering. I'd like to introduce the ground crew. I am Saara La. I live in Florida. You've been listening to Anna Larai. She and Christian live on Vancouver Island. Maria is in Colorado right now, but is usually in Germany. And Paula comes to us from Montana. And I would like to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to Maria Akrabova, who will be having her birthday next Monday. So happy birthday, Maria. She's with our ground crew, and we always like to honor them. And back to you.
Thank you, Sarala. And she's with our Heart Collective, not our ground crew, but you got promoted there, Maria. All right. Well, wishing you a happy birthday. Thank you, Sarala. All right. So, welcome as a few other people are coming in here. Welcome, Peg and Maureen from Down Under. And let's see who else I've got in here. And Ellen B. So we've got 3 Ellens tonight. And welcome to all of you. I'm glad to have you here. And it's really, the energies are beautiful after the gathering, but I have a couple of announcements here first. So let me just show you on the screen and share. So I had been invited a couple of months ago to speak at another summit, and this one is called, and the website is sacredwoundssummit.com. And they started this week already, yesterday, and my presentation is on the 4th, May 4th. And what each of the speakers talks about is a dark night of the soul. And I share about something that happened that I've never shared about publicly. And I think you will, and it was actually about an alchemy gathering. And so if you want to join, it's all free, and I think each of the presenters has left a gift, so you can just register with sacredwoundsummit.com, and I think you'll find it. I think a lot of the speakers will be really enlightening. So that is on Thursday, but you can register anytime and get the gifts at any time. And then on Friday, we have an advanced opportunities session. That is what we used to call the full moon. So it's a guided meditation. And I'm pretty certain, even though this is the Wesak celebration, and normally every year I do Lord Buddha and the Wesak ceremony, this year I don't think we're going to. I asked in advance, and it looks like the star sphere beings are going to come through and do a session with us. And I have no idea. I don't know that I've even ever really fully channeled them. So I think that'll be really interesting. And that's available on my website, sparklesoflove.love. And then I have 2 more here. And then on Saturday, it's a busy week. On Saturday, I'm doing my very first workshop of the year. And for those of you that live on Vancouver Island, we're going to be in person in Nanaimo. And so we'd love to have you join us. We're going to be out at the Morel Sanctuary. And I'm co-facilitating with a friend of mine, Carol, and she's also a channel and healer. And the guides asked me to start doing some co-creations with the one-day workshops. So this one is the first one. And Carol is bringing in some triple helix activations and some other new things that she's just channeled. And I will be doing a live channeling, and we'll be working on your personal growth, your opportunities to raise your vibration. And of course, if you come in person, you get lots of hugs and get to be with like-minded people, and everybody will get the recordings later that day if you can't be with us all night. So again, you can find that on my website, sparklesoflove.love, and hopefully, hopefully you'll be joining us. So, and then the last one is next week on Tuesday in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. We have the monthly Vortex group healings. and those are $19, and they are available on sparklesoflove.love. So if you want to get an infusion of energy or get some help with something you're shifting, it's a great opportunity to do so. So, all right, so just as we're coming in, welcome to Sarah and to Monica and to Maria D. And let's see here, and John and Emily, welcome. And Davina, welcome, and Colin and Claudius. And so that's so nice to have all of you here. All right, so let's get started and see what the alchemy has for us. They have shared that we're going to start something new tonight, which is kind of exciting. So I'm going to ask everyone to just get connected to the light and just see, feel, or sense as we bring in that pure source light. And I'm going to ask you to consciously connect to your highest self and just see a golden disc before you. And as you step upon it, just feel as it brings you up, up, up to the alchemy field. And the crystal and the temple are all back here after the gathering. And for those of you with us for the first time, you'll see this beautiful field. And as you look down it in the far end, you'll see this beautiful crystal. It's quartz-like in texture. It's the size of an old oak tree, and it's the alchemy home crystal. It's the energy portal. And they ask everyone to come down on their golden discs across the field and come around the crystal. Greetings, beloved ones. We are the alchemy, and on this day we greet you. We are very glad to be present with you this day as we will begin some new things after our successful gathering in Mexico a couple of weeks ago. But we call forth first on Analarai, the one we call ribbons, we call forth on Christian, and we call forth on Karila and Mother Gaia to step into the crystals, into the crystal, so that we may run the energy through you. And see or feel now as a purple ray or ribbon comes down through the crystal, through Analarai's physical form and out her heart to connect with your heart now. And see or feel as a blue ray or ribbon comes down from source through the one named Christian, out his heart to connect with your heart. And then it moves out the back of your body and wraps around this whole group, whether you are with us here tonight live or listening to this recording. And it goes all the way back in until it connects with the back of your heart once again. And see or feel as Mother Gaia sends a green ray or ribbon to connect with your heart. And Karila sends a platinum ray or ribbon to connect with your heart. Beautiful, beloved ones, beautiful. And we know that you are most curious as to what occurred at the gathering, and we would share with you that we don't generally share specifics, but we will give you a couple of little overviews. There was a great deal of work done again with regard to releasing old limitations to what you call sovereignty, to personal freedom and sovereignty that were within the earth and above the earth. And we have done this in the last gathering to try and release some of these limitations to allow humanity more opportunities for sovereignty. And as well, we worked, as we had shared that we would, around birthing the next layer of consciousness for humanity. And in doing so, we released some of the energetics that were holding what you would call a lower vibration or a lower consciousness in place on the planet. And of course, there is more to come. There is more to come. But we feel now, if you would repeat the intentions with us, that there is a much greater opportunity now. Within 2023, all of humanity can opt for a gentle awakening to remember their true divine nature. And within 2023, all of humanity can opt for a gentle awakening to remember their true divine nature. And for the third time, within 2023, all of humanity can opt for a gentle awakening to remember their true divine nature. Beautiful, beloved ones. Beautiful. And so we wish to share with you a little bit about what we want this next part of this year to be about, and what we want to co-create in accordance with the divine plan. And we will talk about it a little bit and then move forward. But first, we would like to start to run some diamond lights for you, the white, the pink, and the gold. And these all carry the codes of remembrance of who you are on all levels. The white is the base, the pink supports the human body, and the golden is for healing. So see or feel now as we begin to run the diamond white, pink, and golden diamond light, and it comes down from your soul star chakra and into your crown and third eye, and down through your bodies. So simply allow. And as the diamond lights come in, let us share a little. There is an opportunity now on your planet with the vibration and energetics, and you might even say the timing, to begin to create more energetics to hold sovereignty on your planet. And for a long time, there has been many things that happened, or many things that were created to prevent your sovereignty or to limit your sovereignty. And we and other groups have been dismantling some of this technology and beliefs. But now we wish to work in the positive. And what we wish to do is start the process today, for it will take some time. But we wish to start the process today of creating a sovereignty grid that will be anchored here on the planet. And it will take some time to create this, but our intention is that as this grid is formed and created and activated over time, that the vibration and energy of sovereignty, that each person that walks on planet Earth will have the energy of sovereignty beneath their feet, that they will experience, should their soul wish to, the opportunities and the vibration of sovereignty, of that self-rule, so to speak, rather than having their sovereignty suppressed by others. Does this make sense to you, beloved ones? What questions do you have? We want you to understand this a little bit before we begin this process that will take weeks or longer. We will give you a moment here to write in. So we would ask for a show of hands. How many of you have been aware that your sovereignty has been extremely limited for quite some time? Raise your hand and keep it up for a minute if you know and understand that your sovereignty has been very limited for hundreds of years, we would say. So some of you are aware and some of you had not been aware. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so which questions do you have before we get into this? And what we are going to do is we are going to begin this grid, and in the beginning stages, it will be part of the unity grid that is already present. And what will happen is as it grows in strength, then it will become its own grid. And yes, you can hold unity consciousness and sovereignty at the same time. We realize that they sound a little bit contradictory, but in fact, they are not. And so we ask everyone to begin to expand. And by this we mean expand your heart, your auric field, your energy field, your consciousness. Just expand. And what we want to do to begin is we ask you to connect to the unity grid. And that is 6 feet or 2 meters below the Earth's surface. And so imagine that your legs grow longer below the knees. And we ask you to connect to the unity grid from a place of nature. And it may be your own backyard, it may be a park, a forest, a beach. So just imagine that you are in a place of nature, or have your golden disc travel with you to a place of nature. You can stay in your own country and your own very close if you wish. For today, the location, other than it being a place of nature, is not important. And feel as your feet connect with the current unity grid, the grid that holds unity consciousness, and many other vibrations over these past years have been anchored within it. And everyone should be connected now from a place of nature with their feet upon the unity grid. And we are going to start with some other vibrations, but we are going to start first with the vibration of peace. And just feel as the peace begins to flow down through your chakra system and through your human body. And allow peace to fill you up, because it is always important that you be filled first. Continue to allow these vibrations of peace to run through you. And the peace continues to flow down to the tips of your toes and through all of your organs and chakra system into your auric field. And as you fill with peace, allow the excess to flow through your feet into the unity grid. Beautiful. And the next vibration that we are adding to the vibration of peace is that of love, divine love, the love of source. It is not romantic love. And feel as the vibration of love flows into you and fills you up. peace and divine love flow to you and through you. And simply allow, simply receive. And now the energy or vibration of sovereignty begins to flow to you and through you. And those of you who have completed the 33 codes, we invite you to activate the code of sovereignty. As you do this, I call forth on the code, the original code of sovereignty. And allow these energies to fill you with peace and love and sovereignty. And the vibrations of peace, love, and sovereignty flow to you and through you. The vibrations of peace, divine love, and sovereignty flow to you and through you. It fills the auric field and all the organs and the systems in the body. And as you fill up, the excess peace, the excess love, and the excess vibrations or energy of sovereignty flows into the unity grid. Simply receive, fill up with these vibrations and allow the excess to flow out your feet and into the unity grids. And as we said earlier, we are going to begin the process of creating a sovereignty grid, but it starts as a piece or a connection to the unity grid until it is strong enough. Continue to allow. And so, beloved ones, as you are still allowing this energy to flow through, we will give you a few moments to think. But what we are asking is we are looking for those individuals who join us regularly. We would like to know any of you that would like to become an anchor for sovereignty. And so you will agree, if you agree, you would be helping hold the vibration of sovereignty until the end of this year. And there is not much you need to do other than agree, and it will help support the energies of sovereignty. And of course, any of you with the codes, completed the codes of sovereignty, the 33 codes of origin, we would especially like it if you were willing to help and activate the code each day. And what we would ask you to do is just once a day, it doesn't matter when or for how long, you activate the code of sovereignty if you have done the codes, and you connect to this unity grid. and just send the vibration of sovereignty. And if you have not completed the codes, you would just do the same. You would connect to the vibration, to the unity grid once a day and send the vibration of sovereignty. So if you would like to, we would ask you to write in and pick a country. So you will always do it from the same place. So you would intend to travel on your golden disc. Anna Larai will do the Arctic and Christian the Antarctic. And you will travel on your golden disc and you would keep the same space. And yes, don't worry if you forgot a day or so, but we are really looking for people who would be committed to do that. And it'll take a few minutes as Anna Larai will start to write. And if we get too many in one country, we will let you know. And it would always be in a place of nature. And some of the large countries, we would ask that there be more than one. And we're just having to get all the names down. And it sounds like a small task, but this is one that is quite important. And so if you don't think you can do it regularly, almost every day for 1 or 2 minutes, then we would ask you not to. Because what happens is we will count on you. And the Amazon is already taken. So Heather, we would leave you with Iraq. And so far we have Maria in Germany, Sarala in the Amazon, Paula in China, Emilia in Bulgaria, Maureen in Australia, Heather in Iraq, Patty MC in the Ukraine, Rajjaspari in Malaysia, and John USA. And could you pick a state, please, because that is large. And Paige, so we have, and Paige, we would ask you to also pick a state so that it is different than John. And so Josephine, we would ask you to choose differently. 1 second here. So John, if you could write in which state, and Paige, which state. And Chris is in China. And Kathy. And Kathy, we would rather you do instead of Newfoundland, more in Central, either Ontario or Manitoba. And Stella will do Bogota in Colombia. And Mary C, Hong Kong. And you will have the same place all year, beloveds. And Emily will do Kenya. And Anna. So Anna, we would ask you which country in Africa. And Colin will do Guyana. And Sandra will do England. Araceli will do Venezuela. And so we will have another person in Australia. And Stephanie will do Switzerland. And Elle, we will come back to you. And Monica, we would ask you to choose another country. And Giselle, yes, we would need your country in the next day or so. Yes, to hold sovereignty in that space till the end of the year. Francine has said she will do Finland. And you are still bringing the peace, the divine love, and the sovereignty in. And Paige has chosen the state of Missouri. And John has chosen California. And Bonnie has chosen Brazil. And Gail has chosen India. And Matt, we ask you to choose another country, please. Josephine has chosen Argentina. And Kathy has chosen Ontario. Yes, we have Emily for Kenya. Is this being received? We are uncertain what you mean. If you mean recorded, yes, but received, we don't know. And L, okay. And Anna is doing Zimbabwe. And L, we would put you in France. And Matt, have you chosen again? Thank you. and Italy. And Giselle, may we assign you? We would give you Russia. And can you raise your hand? We think we've, Monica. We would give you Japan. And is there anyone else that we have missed? We are putting hands down. If you want to raise your hand, if you wanted to do this and we have missed your name. But we would ask you again, you will not change countries. We will have these posted. We will bring them up next time. We will have these on. Addie, we missed you. Is there a country, if you let us just unmute you. Addie, is there a country you would like that has not been mentioned, or would you like to do this? Just raise your hand. So Monica, yes, you are Japan. Addie, you just have to unmute yourself. Or you can type into us. We see your hand up, but we are unable to hear you. So you may write to us at the Alchemy Collective. No. The alchemy88@gmail.com, and you can let us know if you are wanting to and we missed you. And yes, Matt, we have, yes, Italy. And so we are going to go through them very quickly, just in case. So Matt is Italy, Giselle is Russia, Monica is Japan, Elle is France, Anna is Zimbabwe, Josephine is Argentina, Gail is India, Bonnie is Brazil, Francine is Finland, Stephanie is Switzerland, Vinny is Australia, Araciel is Venezuela, Sandra is England, Colin is Guyana, Emily is Kenya, Mary C. is Hong Kong, Stella is Colombia, Kathy is Ontario, Canada, Chris, what did we get? We wrote your name down twice, Chris, rather than your country. One moment. Chris is China. Paige is Missouri, USA. John is California, USA. Precious Potty is Malaysia. Patty is the Ukraine. Heather is Iraq. Maureen is Australia. Emilia is Bulgaria. Paula is China. Sarala is the Amazon Basin. Maria is Germany. Christian is the Antarctic. Anna Larai is the Arctic. And they are also holding Vancouver Island in Canada. Is there anyone that wishes to change? And so we ask you now on your golden disc to travel to the country you have chosen. Those of you, the rest of you will stay where you are. And we would ask those of you who have completed the 33 codes to place up your hands. So we may just double check how many we have. Just and leave them up for a moment. Leave them up for a moment. We need to sort these differently. One moment. Leave them up. All right, if you have completed the 33 codes, keep your hands up, just so we make sure we have. Thank you, beloved ones. Thank you. We think we have all of them. Beautiful. And so, feel as you come down from your golden disc and you once again connect to the unity grid, your legs grow long below your knees in a place of nature in your country. And those of you listening to this as a recording, we would love to have you join us if you are willing to do this for a minute or two per day to help hold and bring forth the vibration of sovereignty. And just write us at thealchemy88@gmail.com with your name and the country you wish to be anchored in, other than the ones we have listed. We will ask one of our ground crew to put a list on our Facebook page, just with, not with your names, but with the countries that are already being occupied. And feel now as you connect to the unity grids, if you're just redoing so. Beautiful. And just allow that vibration and energy of sovereignty to flow through you and down into the grids. Beautiful, beloved ones, beautiful. And so the vibrations of peace and divine love and sovereignty slowly stop flowing as your golden disc brings you back to the alchemy crystal, and the diamond lights continue to flow. And once again, we wish to thank all who joined our gathering, all our attendees, our supporters, and all of you who supported in other ways. And we thank you very much for that. Our intention is to hold an in-person gathering next year in the United States. So if you know of any beautiful locations that has meeting space and multiple bedroom configurations and can provide meals, we would love to hear from you if you have any recommendations so that our ground crew may start to look for an ideal location. Our blessings to each of you, and may you begin to truly embrace your own sovereignty. We are the alchemy. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning Pacific time. Bye for now.